Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 3 in the semifinals of Draymond's StarCraft 2 Fee 2.1 Open Bracket Tournament. Oh man, it's such a mouthful and I didn't mess it up that time. Up in the top left of the match this time we have Search spawning, which it seems like Search likes to spawn on the top of maps compared to his opponent. And this is going to be Shakur's Plateau, and down in the cross spawn position we have WhyBroMad. And it's of course another TvT, and right now the series is tied up 1-1, so whoever wins this game will be progressing on to the finals match, although this is not actually the final match of the tournament. But yes, they will be progressing on, so there's a lot on the stakes here if they want to win that $25 prize, or even be able to qualify for the additional $15 prize for second place. As we can see, an extremely fast gas coming out of WhyBroMad, probably going to be doing some sort of 1-1-1 build again, and I would suggest on Shakur's Plateau, scout cross spawns, because it's ridiculous how often cross spawns come up on this map, even when it's not forced cross spawn. But definitely don't scout close position, and we'll see Search being able to deny that scout by getting his own in, although I'm not sure if he really got the scouting information he needed just by getting the gas. We will see. The factory is coming down though. I do believe he should have stayed in the base a little bit longer, just checking things out, but now we can see, oh, why would he expand first? This is a huge mistake. When you're seeing gas first from your opponent, that pretty much means that they're guaranteed to be doing some sort of fast tech play, and I don't think this was a smart move at all on Search's part to be doing the fast expand. But again, he might be relying on the fact that it's a very long distance to go across, as this is cross spawn, so that's a lot of distance that has to be covered by either air or ground units. And we see a second barracks coming down, but not an engineering bay. Probably would have been my choice to throw down an earlier engineering bay, but I do not play Terran. And we see he still has a scout here, but interestingly enough, the scout is not in a position where it can get any real useful information. The only point of that scout is to hide it there so that later it can get into the base for the scout. But I'm not sure if that's going to work out too well, as there are two Marines on this ramp. He does not see... oh, and the scout has been spotted, so it is definitely not going to get any information, and it will die a painful, miserable death. I still do not agree with this having absolutely no sort of engineering bay or anything coming out. And there's the scan, and he sees that there's indeed a starport, and he saw the tech lab, so he's definitely going to know what's up, and he's going to be expecting Banshees. Will he play his cards right in time? We can see another barracks coming out. This is an extremely poor choice. In my opinion, I still would highly suggest that engineering bay and go for those missile turret in each base. But then again, engineering bays build extremely fast, and it's going to take that Banshee a long time to get out across the map. And we see a supply depot being built. We see Stim coming out, interestingly enough, for Search. He's going to be going for fast Stim, so maybe he's going to plan on scans and Marine Stims. And I totally missed if that Hellion did anything. Got one kill, that was probably just on a Marine. And it did take a bit of damage, but it's now getting repaired up by the SCVs. Interestingly, you do not see that happen very often in higher levels, but definitely we're seeing that now, and that's quite interesting. And we see the first Banshee pushing out across map with two Hellions. This is a very interesting play. This might work real well, because those Hellions will do a lot of damage to those Marines potentially, and allow that Banshee to get in and do the damage it needs. And we see a factory coming down. Interestingly enough, he chose not to get any missile turrets, even though he knew a starport was coming. And his Marines are out of position. I don't think he has enough Marines to deal with this if this army chooses to push the front at the same time as the Banshees. And the Banshee now going to start raking in a ton of kills, as reaction time is extremely poor. Ouch. This is really bad, but thankfully for him, the Banshee chose to reposition, so he's definitely going to get a short break. But nope, without Stim being done, he really doesn't have any choice, and is going to waste that scan. It'll be interesting to see if he gets in a good position. Oh, and that scan, no, will not be enough without the Stim, as that Banshee just able to move way too fast. And now comes a push to the front that I was talking about that's going to do a ton of damage. And those missile turrets finally coming up, but I really don't understand why he chose to delay those missile turrets for so long. It really doesn't make much sense. And now he's going to be stuck on one base, but thankfully his opponent's also on one base, and he now has this missile turret, so this is definitely going to be good for him. He might be able to pull out a victory here if he just holds on, keeps this command center alive, and is able to push off this, because now he has a high ground defender's advantage. Although this missile turret, I like the fact that he's putting one at his front door, but I probably would have put it somewhere right around here, because that's more likely where the Banshee's going to spot from. And this command center being ballsy and going for the scout, hopefully it doesn't take too much damage to get into the red. We'll keep keep an eye on that to see what happens. Back in WhyBroMad's base, you can see he's finally going to be expanding and throwing up another barracks and an engineering bay on the back of this. So definitely he's not going to let his game completely slip while he pushes here. Wow, that's a lot of damage those Hellions are dealing. Jeez, that's just brutal. 5 kills on that Hellion, 3 on that one. So able to do a lot of damage here. Search just not building the units he needs to build, or else he's just letting them die. I'm not sure, but as I said, this missile turret way too far in the back, and that was the big mistake there. And those Hellions are just going to roast things alive. And I think this is going to be a good game extremely soon, as Search really can't do anything. But he managed to kill that Banshee and most of the Vikings, and that's absolutely huge. But there we go, another Banshee with the cloak, and that's very dangerous. He has to get those Marines back somewhere safe, and no! He's going to lose them without killing anything! Oh, and that's brutal. At least his stim is done, but he is going for combat shields, which may have to be cancelled. And, oh, he's trying to kill the Banshee, but I don't know if that's worth it. He should have picked off the weak Hellion, that would have died extremely fast. And then there we go. Then he would take a lot less damage to his Marines and be able to properly deal. Oh no! Oh, and the upgrade was not cancelled as the tech lab goes down. But thankfully for him, WhyBroMad still has not expanded, and it looks like the game has been reset. If we look at the units tab, we can see though, WhyBroMad has a huge SCV lead, as Search had to pull some of those SCVs off to help him defend, and I think it's definitely going to put him well too far behind. He would definitely be put him too far behind, I have a feeling. So another scan coming down though. Right now I don't know if he can really afford the scans. Like, he really should be considering the idea of just saving that for the mule, as right now he's so far behind in tech. But at the same time, he needs to know, has my opponent decided that he's going to stop attacking me, or has my opponent decided that he's going to continue attacking me? So it is pretty important, I guess. As we can see, wow, a lot of upgrades coming out from WhyBroMad now, as he does not have his stim yet. And he's also going for +1. We can see that Search already has his +1 attack, so definitely good that he's got the advantage there. But his tech is definitely far behind now, as his starport is just starting to come out. Although his factory, no, he's going for a reactor factory, or is this going to be swapped with the starport? Yeah, I bet it'll be swapped with the starport for medevac production. And we do see the liftoff indeed, and it's going to be a tech lab now, as he will probably be getting tanks soon to follow this. We can see tanks are already coming out though for WhyBroMad, although he has not started researching that siege tech mode. So we'll see if he does that soon, as he definitely wants to keep his tech advantage if he can. But right now the income is heavily favoring him, as he has 40 to 23 harvesters. But wow, that's a huge amount of advantage now that the mules from Search have just died. And Search, I'm not sure if he'll be able to pull off this game and advance the next round, or if WhyBroMad will take it away from him. As right now he's not looking too good. He's definitely still behind in his tech, as I mentioned a bunch of times, but more importantly, he's really behind in that SCV count. He is not building more workers at a rate that he should be, and it's really dangerous for him, because as every minute goes by, his opponent's going to be getting more army, more tech, and he's getting further and further ahead. But then again, ooh, not a good idea to move out. I would have said, then again, if he chose to set up a defensive position entrenched with siege tanks, there's a good chance that he had... Oh, that was funny. Wow, he just put his whole army into medevacs. And we're seeing a big drop coming in from Search though. We've got 2 full medevacs, and how will the reaction time be? It'll be interesting to see if he gets any real damage here, as I don't think he has the units that are required. And oh, that was horrible. He did nothing with these SCVs here, these Marines here that were in the back, and he just let that drop die. He should have definitely pulled out. As soon as he saw that army coming, he should have loaded back up into the medevacs and pulled his entire army away as quick as possible. I don't think there's any way he can recover from that blunder, as that definitely just put him extremely far behind, as now he has no medevacs, he does not have any tanks left, and his opponent has a huge army coming into his base. And I'm sorry, no matter how well you split your Marines, that is not going to make a difference, and the GG shows it. Search taps out, and WhyBroMad is able to advance on to the finals of the winners bracket.